Hi guys, it's me, MicheleMarieDalene. Yeah, we are in the bedroom today because it's just a little bit different venue, a different place to look, and things like that. And anyway, I wanted to talk to you about something that I have found here on our Russian television on their website, which I do not see anything about the American version of this program, but it does beg the question. The headline says the number of disabled Britons dying after benefit cut hidden by DWP petition demands release. A few paragraphs of it. It says here, more than 58,000 people have signed a petition demanding the release of figures detailing the number of disabled people to die within 6 weeks of having their benefits cut. The government has sought to block the publication. The change in petition is demanding the Department of Work and Pensions, or DWP, figures readjusted under the requested under the Freedom of Information to be made public. The Information Commissioner's Office said that there is no reason not to publish these figures, but Ian Duncan Smith's department, the Department of Work and Pensions, has launched an appeal to prevent the figures being made public. The petition reads, Maggie Zobobulak, who started a petition whose husband is disabled, says, quote, for years there have been reports of people committing suicide or dying from ill health soon after the benefits are stopped. It goes on and talks a little bit more. I'm just going to read two pieces of information here. As a partner of someone with disability, I have been through 2 benefit appeals and also have been at a benefit tribunal representation, so I know how personal experience, how stressful the system can be, and the impact they have on families. I believe the public needs to know the full impact of benefit changes, she said. In 2002, the Department of Work and Pensions published statistics which showed 10,600 people who have been receiving benefits died between January and November of 2011. Okay, now, I don't have the American version of information of that, but I'm going to talk about it because we mentioned briefly about social insecurity. And we've also talked about my friend who was receiving 99 weeks of unemployment. Her check expired. She wasn't able to find a job after 99 weeks. And immediately she fell into extremely hard times here in the United States and was unable or incapable of paying her rent. I have another friend who was appealing to acquire disability. She was a veteran of the armed forces. And so she should have, since she was honorably discharged, she should have received veterans benefits as well, but for some reason never did. And in the state of Connecticut's Department of Social Services was not giving her the medication she needs for her type 2 diabetes. And unfortunately, she died in a diabetic shock. This lady and I were very much like family, and so her loss really took me down with her, as well as depression, because of the fact is that I knew her very well. When she was doing very well, I saw her decline. I saw her health just go down the crapper. Okay? But the point is the questions I'm asking is, will the Department of Work and Pensions in the UK is refusing to disclose this information? How much of the information is also available from the Social Insecurity and the HCFA and the Department of Social Services in various states, of people who have been on disability for a long time, all of a sudden are declared able to work, not being able to find a job, not being able to provide coverage for themselves or any kind of, if they need money to pay medical insurance, right? Yeah, okay. And especially if you don't have a job, then how are you going to get the money? So the question is what I told you in 2016, in the last 3 months of 2016, the Department of we call the Social Insecurity. I know some people say it's kind of a lousy pun. Well, actually, it's not a lousy pun. It's actually a very good pun. It's a very straightforward pun. Prior to a long time, Social Security was security. It could be guaranteed that you would have a retirement income when you retired at 62, and then it was later 65, and things like that. And then all of a sudden, after all the thanks to the 2008, especially 2008, plus Social Security's guidelines. I have to show you that, but I don't have access to showing you a screen. But if you go to Social Security's website, you will find a list of eligibility requirements for Social Security disability. It covers every conceivable human condition. There is no way, honestly, that a person can be declined Social Security, because almost any one of these people can have any one of these conditions. Legal blindness, asthma, diabetes, sore back, sore joints, osteoporosis, certain allergies, chronic headaches, and those are just the tip of the iceberg. Pervasive developmental disorders, including Asperger's and autism, ADHD, ADD, bipolar, which includes manic depression, chronic depression, seasonal affective disorder. Yeah, that's in there too. The point I'm trying to say is, and you listen to some of these congressmen. One of them jokingly said, the number of claims increases because after you're 40, everybody's back hurts. Amen, brother. You're right. My back is killing me right now, but it's actually doing better than. I'll get to that in a little bit. Anyway, the whole problem is that it's almost impossible not to get disability, especially if you got a high enough power, high-full lawyer. You see them on the lawyers on TV. Got a disability? Well, call this one. You got a disability? Call Bender and Bender. We'll fight for you. You'll take care of the paperwork. You have nothing to worry about. So on and so forth. And yet, you actually start to wonder, really, what exactly would a Social Security's own website for disability claims? The list is so huge, it's almost impossible not to have at least one, or two, or three. I happen to have only one listed, but I certainly got other disabilities that were never reported. Let me tell you what they are. Legal blindness. Cataracts. Okay, now that one's totally... Okay, cataracts? Yes, it's on the list. Legal blindness, cataracts, nystagmus, joint pain, hearing loss, scoliosis of the spine. It's just enormous. I mean, I could get benefits for like 5 or 6 conditions. Plus, I probably do have sleep apnea. That's enormous too. Do you realize how many people I read on these programs are actually bleeding money? It's because the guidelines are so loose that it's almost like the government's saying, here, we'll give you free money. Just come pick it up. Just go ahead and follow the form. Have your attorney show up with the necessary motions of discovery, and we'll go ahead and give you free benefits. Just the way you look at the form. Oh, it doesn't happen that fast, really. But ask my friend Valerie how long it took her to get denied. She finally just gave up filing for it, and then her health tanked. Me and Valerie looked a lot like sisters. When my hair was its natural color, which was kind of like a ash brownish, which was the same colors as Valerie, She and I looked like she was my older sister. You would never know the difference. We were built the same. We had the same wide body, same double, triple chin. We talked the same. Everything was the same. But the point is, like I said, unlike me, she kind of just got kind of fed up with the system. I can tell you, I can understand that part. And she was a service person, too. Why wasn't she eligible? Why did the VA leave her for that? I don't know. That's a whole different program. But we do know that the VA is having its own problems. So the question that I want to get back to is, how many people in the United States, after losing their disability check, either die from a medical condition because of the inability to get health care, or commit suicide because they're unable to provide for the family? That's a question. I'd like to know the answer, and I'm not sure I can get the answer. But you know what? You guys down there are pretty smart. I know some of you guys have information. So here's what I want to do. I want you to comment on this video. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about what we can find out, and maybe give some suggestions on how we can fix the system that clearly has too broad a claim of disability. Honestly, it's just too broad. It's just huge. According to the way the list is written, every single American is eligible. I don't think that was what was intended by President Johnson's administration in 1965. Okay? So the question is, what can we do to prevent social insecurity from running out of money in the last 3 months of 2016? How many people really die by self-inflicted means or by inability to provide for the medical care? That's a number I'd like to know. And I'd also like to know when that information was provided, and as well as the location where it's provided, so I can get an answer. One of the things that I like to do is to inspire you to think and to learn and to grow. And by the way, I also mentioned a few other things I'm going to mention here too. Okay, talking about conditions. My back is feeling a little better today. My hip is feeling a little bit better. I must have bruised it somehow. Laying on my old trusty mattress right next to me, which you can hear me slapping it, has been a godsend. My back has been able to rest. And the second thing is my right eye is showing, as I mentioned earlier this morning, notable improvement. It's not exactly like 100% perfect. It's far from it, because like this light we're using here, this key light, is producing a tremendous amount of glare in my right eye. My left eye doesn't seem to care that much, even though my left eye does seem to be suffering a tiny bit because it's so close to my face. We have it bouncing off the ceiling and the wall to keep the picture look kind of natural, because we're not using the 83D filter right now on the camera to adjust for the fact that we have daylight coming in through the window behind me. And like I said, I've been coming up here to do videos, and sometimes I'll just go here and I'll just lay in my bed and sleep for a few hours, and then I wake up and a few hours later, and Rusty and Fame are doing much better today. Rusty came and lay with me for a little bit, so did Fame. Dory called me. We're going to begin hanging out soon. But I wanted to talk to you also about something, a little bit about how I handle the heat. We always talk about lay low. Well, for some people, laying low is literally laying low. Heat, there's two medical conditions, and both can be just as dangerous. Heat stroke and heat exhaustion. Now today, I could have gotten heat exhaustion, but because I am well aware of the heat and the temperatures, I've been inside the whole day. Heat exhaustion is when you're just sweating profusely and you feel sick, you got a headache, your head hurts, you don't feel good, you just feel like shit. It's not the worst you can get, but it definitely is a kind of warning sign that says, time to get inside to a cool area, drink lots of water, drink lots of fluid, and if the condition gets progressively worse, then it's time to call for emergency medical care. Because the next condition is called heat stroke, which is life-threatening. Life-threatening in the sense that you could black out, you can die, your body starts to shut down, you stop sweating, and you really get sick. That's really a serious condition, and that can really, like I said, can kill you. Actually, heat exhaustion can turn into heat stroke if not taken care of. So you need to prepare for that. Now, what if you don't live in a place with air conditioning? Well, then the first thing I would do is, if you can, is get to cooling centers. Cooling center, in this case, maybe community set up cooling center. It might be maybe going to a friend's house that has air conditioning. It may actually be going, to a community program that has air conditioning. Say, for example, a senior center, or a public library. These places usually have air conditioning, and if they don't, then that means that you have to look at alternatives. What are the alternatives? Here's a hint. If you have a basement, most basements are usually cooler than the upper floors. Okay? Which means you could go to your basement. I used to do that at my parents' house. I would go to the basement and work on projects for a few hours during the heat of the day. And then, of course, it was cool enough that my body, because I have ocular albinism as well, I'd keep me out of the sun, it would keep me out of the heat, the humidity. The basement might be moist, but it's not the kind of moisture that's going to necessarily turn your body's natural cooling system against you. In any circumstance, wherever you go, is make sure to drink plenty of water. Now, I mentioned about our water supply system here. And I'm going to tell you right now, summertime when it's really hot is not the time to start guzzling soda. Especially colas, because colas have caffeine, and caffeine is a diuretic. It's going to make you lose water faster. It means it's going to go out your kidneys. It's not going to be used to cool you down. It's just going to basically be flushed out of your body through your bladder, and then it's not going to result in any cooling. Excessive drinking of excessively sugary drinks may not necessarily not as bad, but it certainly doesn't help. What you really need to drink is plenty of cool, fresh water. It doesn't have to be from a spring. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. It doesn't have to be Evian. It doesn't have to be Poland Spring or a Crystal Spring or whatever. But if you got it, I guess you'll drink it, right? Regular tap water is fine. In the United States, the tap water is regulated by the Environmental Protection Agency. It has to meet a certain quality of purity. And in several different reports, it shows that the tap water is often safer than drinking bottled water. For the contaminants in that water is less of an issue than in spring water. That's not always true, but it's what they found testing several spring water suppliers and testing municipal water supplies. And that's because there's less regulations for spring water. Okay? What else? Alright. Related to hydration. Monitor your urine level. I'm not trying to be gross here, guys. I have a female body urine collection device that I can use. I used to sleep with it. That lets me pee in bed when I'm sleeping. It works out great for that reason. It's placed between my legs, hook it up against my vulva, and then just go ahead and pee. And sometimes it does automatically when I'm sleeping because it's conditioned to know what to do. But you want to make sure the water is clear, or pretty much clear, because if it's clear, have no fear. If it's yellow, well, depending on how yellow it is, it may mean to take caution. You really don't want to have your urine get really dark yellow, because that means that you're really dehydrating very bad and very quickly. So you want to definitely drink, like I told you in that video, 2 to 3 liters of water a day. Now, 2 to 3 liters of water also comes out in the foods you're eating. Now, but let's be honest, you're not going to be eating a lot of food in a hot day. At least I wouldn't. I mean, so if you're, just to be safe, check your urine. If it's darker yellow, then it's time to add more water to your diet. Let's be honest here. You need 2 to 3 liters of water a day, so just drink 2 to 3 liters of clean water. And if you're gonna pee, so you pee, okay? Check your urine. If it's, as I said, if it's almost clear, you're fine. Have no fear. If it starts to turn yellow, and you know that you're needing more water in your system. I know that's kind of gross, but you know what? Let's be honest. Our world is not all fluffy bunnies and unicorns, okay? Especially when it's hot and you need to keep an eye on this. If you've never been in heat, then you probably wouldn't know this. If you have been in hot weather or if you're heat intolerant like I am, knowing this stuff is going to make a difference between having just a minor inconvenient day to ending up in the hospital with a life-threatening illness. Okay? So you need to know that. And for God's sakes, easy on the salt. I know that long ago, many soft drinks, especially diets, used to have a lot of salt. Diet Coke used to have 35 milligrams of sodium per can. Back, I think about 10 years ago. You're going to be a little bit further back than that. The point is, you do not need to go salt crazy. Okay? You need so much salt to keep your nerves working properly. But you don't want to have too much salt that is going to speed up the dehydration process. So you need to find just the right balance between the two. And if you have a urine collection device and you can use it to take a sample of how much pee you're making and check the color of it, that's great. You don't even have to. Females usually have a harder time than men, but you can use a paper cup too. After all, you're only just checking a small sample of your pee. You're not really necessarily going to check a whole day's worth of whiz. Just check your pee when you pee. I mean, if it looks clear, you're okay. If it looks yellow or getting really dark yellow, which is bad because that's when crystals like urea create more problems for your kidneys, such as kidney stones and bladder stones. You don't want those, okay? So, because urea is water insoluble, which means it will not break down no matter how much water you throw at it. So what your body does is it makes a lot of water to flush a little bit of urea out, okay? It's kind of like cold water and table sugar. However, table sugar is water soluble when it's warm. Let me just show this example, okay? If I take a cup of cold water at 20 degrees Celsius, and I dump, say for an example, making a lemonade mix, it says add half a cup of table sugar to that water, and I pour all that table sugar into the water is going to sink to the bottom, just like that. And that's exactly what the urea crystals do to your bladder. They sit at the bottom of your bladder near the urethra opening. That means that if you take your first pee and it feels like you're peeing salt cubes, then you know dang well you got to drink more water, because otherwise it's going to irritate the urethra. It's going to irritate your complete urinary tract, including the ureters and kidneys. Really bad juju. You can get really sick, get into urinary tract infections. Nobody wants that. Okay, especially when it's already hot and miserable. Just do my advice, avoid trouble, drink lots of water, okay? Don't be afraid, water is healthy for you. You need it anyway. Avoid heat stroke and heat exhaustion. So the more water you drink and taking it easy, it'll be better. It'll be fine. Alright guys, so that's it for now. I'm going to let you go. And this has been the first time that I have ever, first time in a long time, that I have done a video in here. And you can guess there's going to be some filtering I have to do with the sound effects of the air conditioner behind me, because I wasn't going to turn that thing off because this 300 watt bulb is throwing a lot of heat. And I just wanted to get this in. But also, don't forget to like or dislike, share with your friends, enemies, whoever. Comment in the comment section below, especially if you know the answers to the questions I asked about. Subscribe. It helps me to know how many people are subscribing to my channel, because that count gives me a better idea of where my videos stand. And of course, if you can, click like or dislike on the video too, and that way I know with a more fine detail if you like to just not like the video. If you do like it, tell me why. If you don't, tell me why. That way I can go ahead and focus on the videos better. Okay? Bye-bye.